You said, just click record. It's okay. I know it's pretty easy to join this group. You just click events. I shouldn't have to do like all this explaining to run this app that's self-explanatory. It's like you're not taking the time to look at this. That's the only, I'd really be trying to, I'm not irritated. I just think so like detailed. It's like click events, Astrology class 101 live, click it. It says join event right there. It's right there. I'm just gonna post the instructions. All right, boom. I'm sorry, let me just post this again. I'm like doing everything for everybody. Like you can figure it out. It's not hard. It's literally updates, emails, apps, everything is there. If you don't do it, it's like it's kind of on you. You know what I mean? But here I am still, you know, making sure I'm providing everything I can to help everybody in every way. It is what it is. I'll be patient. All right, boom. Okay, I see someone else who's joined in.
You're mute.
All right, what's up? What's up? It's already, I was supposed to already get started. I'm just posting it in the announcements again, just in case anybody else isn't able to find it for whatever reason. I'll send the link to a couple more people for them to drop in a little bit later since it's already right here. Boom. This is a good class. So I mean, this is important. The reason why I really value this class is because, you know, we're teaching literal, you know, do it yourself, how to do astrology yourself. So you don't ever have to depend on anybody or anything like that. You know, let me know how the connection is as well. If you can, you don't mind, let me know how is the connection. Did the Wi-Fi just go out? Sure. 222. Yeah. It just plugged it. It just plugged back in. It just plugged back in.
This is why I put y'all in your room. Take them shoes off your feet. Those inside, do not open the door.
Okay. All good. Sent the link out to some people. We're already recording. Let's go ahead and get this started. So today's class, right? Let's get this propped up. Today's class is going to be a really cool one. First class, we went over modalities and elements. Just to review real quick, the modalities would be the qualities of the energy, which we determined to be cardinal, fixed, and mutable. We broke all that down. We looked at the elements already. We looked at fire, we looked at earth, air, and water. 3 by 4 is 12. We were able to break down each and every sign, go through the modality of each category, element of each category, really figure out a lot about the signs. So we really went in on the science already. If you guys have an issue, understanding more of it, or you want to help, or you want to recap, let me know. I have the video still saved. I can always just send you that video, that astrology video. You can watch it again and again and again and again and review that, take notes as you want, however you want to do that. So just make sure that you say something, all right? Make sure that things are just known, and we'll just move forward from there, okay? So today we'll be talking about the planets, all right? Today we are talking about planets and the signs themselves, the energies of the signs. Easiest way to go through this is to go through the planets, I believe, rather than going through the signs, because each sign, that would be like 12 lessons versus going through each planet, which is going to combine a lot of the signs in one lesson. A lot of these planets share energies with other planets. And before we go into even that, I'd like to go into what planets are. Okay, we're going to break down, we started modalities and elements. We went into what the elements were. We went into what the modality was. And then we figured out where in astrology lined up with what signs and what placements into what effectiveness. So first off, we'll be starting with today, planes. Take notes how you'd like to. If not, like I said, you can always just revisit this video. I'm an audio learner, so I support that. I listen to audiobooks. I don't like to read, but I love to take notes, and I highly recommend everybody try to take notes to any capacity, whether it's artistic, whether it's direct, in some form. Taking notes is really doing a lot of magic for yourself. Okay, that's really bringing whatever's in your mind into a form of reality. And when you do that, you really create better bridges with neural pathways. So there's a science to it. It metaphysically makes sense. It's a subconscious programming thing as well. So many levels to where you want to take notes, why you want to actually write things down that you think about, that you dream. And I can go into those things later, but let's stick to the topic of this class. So we're going to look at planes. When we teach the 369 soul system, we understand that 3 is the cell. It's your cells, your body. Okay? The cells. You're made of trillions and trillions of cells that are born and die at a massive rate. And there's so many forms of cells that make you up, and they have so many functions. They have so many different purposes. But these cells, ultimately, they operate like an amoeba or like a starfish. They operate like a bug, like a chicken. You know what I mean? They just have simple functions, and they execute those simple functions. They really don't think past that. They're not really equipped biologically, through their proteins. They're not really equipped genetically to do as much as what we do. You see, humans, we have the ability to manipulate our environment. We have the ability to think at a level. Our consciousness is at such a frequency. Our brain waves can reach such a frequency to where it unlocks abilities. So by raising frequencies, by raising your brainwave frequencies, you actually unlock ability. You can do more. There's certain things that don't have that. They operate on the lower natures. If you use a chakra system, easy way to describe this would be the root, survival, fight or flight. The sacral, which is all about reproduction. And then the solar plexus, which is basically just a type of identity. For example, red ants know to be with red ants. Black ants know to be with black ants. They have enough of identity to know what they want to do. They have enough purpose. You see, the thing about crabs and those things, they have purpose. Ants have purpose. An ant may not seem like it's doing anything significant to you, but it has a focus and a purpose, and it'll do whatever it can to get under over, it'll pick up its obstacle, it'll go around its obstacle, crawl over its obstacle, but an ant knows where it's trying to go. That's the one thing about ants. They're not aimless. They may not know what you know from your perspective. Okay. An ant may not know what you know from your perspective. However, it knows what it needs to do. It knows its purpose. It goes up to a solar plexus level. Your cells operate just like that. You can put all kind of blockages and toxins in yourself and X, Y, and Z. There's certain cells that you have in you that just are meant to execute certain functions. There's a reason why we're talking about this, okay? So just follow. We start with the cell. That would be our third dimension. That would be our 3. That's the earth. It's flat. You know what I mean? It's the cellular realm. We know they're not actually flat cells, but the way that we look at it, it looks flat. Same way that if you look at the earth, the sun or the moon, you look at those celestial beings or planets, they always will look flat to you because of the dimension that you're in, the realm that you're in compared to it. So to you, you have cells which operate kind of like animals, really your animal nature. You can control them biochemically. You can control them through food. You can control them through what you eat and what you don't eat. And you can control them through time. You can manipulate your cells by doing things at certain times in cycles with nature. There's so many ways that the human has been able to use their other abilities, from the heart chakra to the throat chakra to the brow chakra, to really perceive and think and manipulate energy in a way that no other being can do it. No other animal can do it. There's nothing else with the prefrontal cortex. You know, dolphins are the closest thing to intelligence, and they use feeling to communicate. And we are not able to decipher their language because they don't speak a language. They speak feelings. They speak vibes. But it's a higher it's a higher level conversation than what we can have. So they're the only creatures like that. But other than that, humans, we have the ability to manipulate our environment to fit us, rather than us adapting and us changing our skin colors and us having to do certain things to fit into the environment to just survive. We can do that. We have abilities to do that. But ultimately, we know how to build a plane and fly over there. We know how to break this down and build this. We can make an AC. You know, we can make a light bulb in the dark. You know what I'm saying? We can defy nature in every way. Man can defy like what's happening in the cycles and change it and manipulate it and alchemize it. Man is an alchemist. And so this is the 6th dimension. This is where you learn how to use the seen and the unseen forces. The seen forces is everything I just described, from the earth plane to your visible light spectrum, what you see and how you perceive things. Okay, that is the cell, and then the self, the 5 senses, going up to the 6th sense, making the 6th dimension, which is perception. And that 6th sense is that thing I'm saying that makes us different than the common animal on the earth, than the common creature on the earth. What makes the human so special is that prefrontal cortex. Okay, that is what makes you special amongst other species, even other monkeys. You know what I'm saying? This is what makes you different. This is what gives you that ability to think, perceive critically, you know, to choose to do the wrong thing. It's like, that's a superpower. Like, you gotta really think about that. And that's the self. Okay, so there's your cells, which you can see. That's energy. You know, you have yourself, which is you could choose. This is frequency, aka free will. You can choose what happens to this energy. But then you get to this 3rd level right here, known as the 9th dimension. And this is where you get the celestial beings. So cell, self, celestial. The thing about celestial beings is that we know and we relate those to the cosmos. We know that a celestial being is this entity that you know, is like somewhere in the sky that you may never see, but you may perceive in a dream or something. So a planet or a plane would be on the 9th dimension, harmonizing with celestial beings, meaning that they operate in a way that we cannot perceive from the 6th dimension, the self. The self, we cannot see that. The celestial beings are in all space and all time. There's no such thing as space and time. And as a celestial being, you're naturally past that. So when you see the sun going in cycles and cycles and cycles and cycles and cycles around the earth, that's actually, from a celestial being standpoint, you wouldn't see it moving and transiting up and down day by day. From a celestial standpoint, the way that that would be perceived is the sun would look like a ring of light. It would look like a ring of light. It wouldn't look like a ball of light moving in pieces. It would look like the whole thing, all space, all time, all at once, everywhere. That's how a celestial being works. So it's a different level of perception. The only way that you could perceive life like that is when you go to sleep, or is when you dream. And this is in the astral body. The astral body functions as a celestial being. So when you're looking at astrology, you're looking at a snapshot of your astral energy. This is your astral energy for your astral body. This is astrology. Okay, this is synonymous in the same thing from the 9th dimension to the 3rd dimension, which is known as biology, which is that of the cells, or DNA. DNA, and then you have in the middle of that, you have just the blood in general, which is memory. And this is where we go into frequency. That is the 6th dimension, that is the self. So what we're focusing on with astrology is the astral body and its makeup. And it is really annoying to study one of these trillions of cells when you can just study this one big celestial picture that has infinite possibilities. Look at your snapshot of it, of your astral energy, and understand how your astral energy works. This is paramount. If nobody's going to ever study your snapshot of the conversation the celestials were having when you portaled in, the energies that you represent. The celestials are basically singing a song. They're harmonizing or inharmonizing or disharmonizing. These planets are reacting. Their energies are reacting in different ways. These celestial beings, these planets, they represent not rocks in the sky, but forces of nature, forces of elements and forces of nature, laws, principles, things that you cannot change. They all have taken form in these bodies that we call planets or planes. These planets, but they're not rocks. We keep looking at them as rocks. They are more alive than you could even imagine. The same way that you are alive to your cells, these celestial beings are alive. You know, we're cells to them in a sense. But the thing about a celestial being, because it transcends space and time as its principal law of being, it doesn't get to experience a finite reality. It only experiences an infinite reality. So for a celestial being to experience itself, it would have to be channeled for a moment in time. This frequency exists forever. Forever. The frequency will always exist. Carbonation is the frequency of the sun. Carbonation is the frequency of love. Getting in tune with that celestial being, which is the source of all the energy for all the other celestial beings in this realm. This is the closest thing to God that you're going to be able to look at, is the sun. It's just a symbol though. And it is a celestial being. So this is still a biological relationship you're having with the stars that you may perceive to be a rock, but in all actuality, it's this being of light that is encompassing you at all and protecting you at all times. And that you actually, this way that your cells can determine your health and mess with you and make you want certain things, is the same way that you could work with the universe. You use the energies that are there and you're able to insert a little bit of your own free will. But your free will should be in alignment with your nature. If you don't know what your purpose is, what you're here to do, what you're supposed to stay true to, well, then you look at the snapshot of the infinite possibilities and see which piece of that infinity are you. And you will be that piece forever. And you just started. This is Earth plane, AKA the heart plane, is a place where you learn a balanced plane to learn how to navigate and use the soul before you take off in your light body, your Merkaba, once you activate your 12 strands of DNA, the crystalline DNA, and you become one of the 144. Once you become that, the chosen choose themselves by awakening. Once you activate this energy, this is done through the astral body. You connect to spirit. Your bodies become coherent. Your mind, your body, and your spirit. The body being the solid, the 3. The mind being the liquid, the 6, the self. You're pretty much a water bag of memory. And then the 9, the spirit, the gas, oxygen, the air, the prana. That's what works with your upper 3 chakras, from the heart to the throat to the brain, all oxygen. From the solar plexus to the sacral to the root, it goes from liquid to solid. Your oxygen is not a part of those processes. That's liquid to solid. Down and out. But energy and prana is in. It's also out, but you breathe out carbon. And the trees allow you to communicate with spirit. Oxygen, which really is coming from where? The ocean. It's really not even coming from trees like that. It's coming from the ocean. It's water again. Just another form of water. Air. Okay, so you look at all these concepts, you understand this, and you realize why astrology is important. What are these planes? What are these celestial beings? They are planets. They're just like characters. Saturn has characters to it. So what do is they personify Saturn as Chronos and this person that does this, and that. And when anything interacts with it, this is what it's going to do to it. And it becomes alchemy. It becomes chemistry. It becomes mixtures of energies and understanding how these mixtures of energies get along. So this is why astrology can come off to be very difficult. And yes, we're going to go, I am teaching you right now. I want you to know that this is the class. Learning what the planet is paramount. The energies are great, but if you don't know how to understand why these things are happening, it doesn't matter what it is. It's the why that's way more important. And to know what your astrology, your astral body is the key component. This message is for everybody. This isn't for any one specific person. So we don't need to zero in on any one specific energy or any one specific planet. We need to have a general understanding of what it all is so that this can be a do-it-yourself project as you develop and learn about you. There's only enough time in this lifetime to study your chart. I don't have a time enough in my lifetime to completely study and master my chart and their chart and then chart. No, I'm focusing on me. If everybody can focus on their charts, everybody can learn how to navigate their own souls. Great. I have a service where I'm so good at it. I offer consultations to where people can come around at any time and I'll read the energy to them and help them move along from where they're at as they still learn it themselves. But ultimately, you want to learn it yourself. Ultimately, you want to do it yourself. Self, celestial. Okay, self is free will, so this is a choice for you. All right, so let's go look at the celestials once more. They operate at the realm of a tesseract. You have the earth operates at the level of a square, which is a 3. Your first 3 would be like a square, 360. Then you have your next, which is the cube or the Christ, or the body, the 666, carbon, the self. Okay, that's the realm we live on and we perceive on as from a Christ perspective. You fold up the cross, it becomes a cube. That's what all there is trying to tell you, is that this is a cubed reality that you are perceiving in. You're perceiving space and time as that's inside that cube. That has energy and consciousness in a vessel. Okay, in a whole new way, which you're able to do with 6 senses. That's what the cube is about. All right. Then you move from that to the tesseract, which is the 9th dimensional. And this is basically an imperceivable shape, but it's completely valid, 100% valid. We just can't perceive it because of how it functions. It's moving within itself and out of itself at the same time. It's over here and it's over there at the same time, place, everywhere, all at once. That's how planets are. That's how planes are. Now, how you look at it is a moment in time. because you're on a 6th dimension. Space and time are things that we use to measure relativity. We don't want to be everywhere all the time all at once. It's too much. We want to limit it. You want to be in a 6th dimension. The next octave of the 6th dimension, or the earth plane, would be the 12th dimension, which is your astral body, your astral being, dreaming. And that is really where you are right now, but we're restarting from 1 as if we were completely asleep, even though we know we're dreaming. The cycle continues. That's all that is. So the astral bodies, understanding the celestial, are very important. Now let us look at the planets. Let us look deeper at the sun. The sun being the life force of everything. The sun rules the element of fire. We broke down the element of fire. The sun holds the modality of fixed and cardinal energy primarily, seeing as it is ruled by Leo. This is where it's home. Leo. This is the energy that really, really, really describes what the sun is all about. And it is exalted in Aries, which is identity as well. So the sun is trying to tell you, I am all about how you move, how you feel about yourself, how you think, how you feel about yourself, your life force, what is bringing you, what has brought you to life, what is giving you life, what adds vitality. That would be the keyest word for the sun, is vitality, life itself. Leo, or Aries, the beginning. You came from nothing, and through the sun you were born. You were beginning from nothing. You've never existed. And now you are going to experience infinity, but you are a piece of that celestial being known as the sun. So this is a solar realm. And the golden age is actually also known as the solar age. This is when the sun is at its best. Its frequency is really pervading. This is the most life, the most vitality. In the age of Aquarius, you want to be a Leo. Okay. The opposite of the sun sign is the earth sign. If we on earth are on the age of Aquarius, we're in perfect harmony with the sun right now. Best time to figure out who you are. Best time to figure out what brings you life. Best time to figure out where your creative outlets are, what your purpose is. You can be online all you want in Age of Aquarius, like you say, Age of Aquarius. Be on the internet. You're supposed to get on the internet and show them who you are. You're supposed to get on the Aquarius and do the opposite, which is Leo, show them who you are. And that is how we'll have ultimate diversity. But until then, you'll have clones, cults, robots. Soul redemption is about sovereignty in all dimensions. Everybody here should be so unique. And that should be what we have in common. The very thing that makes us different. And as we're all focused on our own purposes, that is what keeps us. I'm doing this. I'm in my purpose. I'm not doing things to make you happy. I'm doing what I need to do. I have the map and the compass right here. I can tell me if I forget, or if I start feeling drained, I start wondering what's going on, I could just look at my chart and remind myself what my purpose is, so I could be a Leo again. So I can remember who I am. That's the sun. Knowledge of self. The Aten, the big sun disk behind all those, their heads, from the Buddha to the Black Madonna to the Jesuses and the you name them, the Vishnus and the Hindus, all of them got it. They all got the sun behind their head. All of them do. That's the I am. I know. Knowledge of self. Okay, that's the sun. And Aries is good there. Aries is about action. So that's moving, the movement of instinctual moving, like doing what you know you're supposed to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's very powerful energy there, because it's about looks. Aries is about looks. It's about thoughts, and it's about action. So it's really all about appearance. So this is about appearing as who you really are, thinking, you know, staying true to your thoughts, you know, just doing what you want to do and letting that have this, Leo and Aries have this leadership quality to them because they know who they are. They're doing what they need to do. People who don't know that who they are just yet, but know what they can feel what they're supposed to do, they're going to find their leaders. And they're going to learn, and they're going to grow until they're leaders. And the best way to really learn something is to start teaching it. Okay, remember that. If you ever feel nervous or wonder why you're not able to learn this, you really want to learn that, really want to learn this, start trying to teach it. You're going to find yourself doing the best research you've ever done. All right. So the sun is a very potent energy. And for those reasons explained, if you want to personify it as any type of being, I mean, that's what Vedic astrology does. There's all kind of myths. This would be your Jesus. That's what the sun would be. I am one with God. That would be Jesus. That would be your mythological character. And there's many more that I can name from like every religion, like Hanuman, like there's a lot of them, but just know that it's the sun energy right there, Buddha, all of that. Moving forward, we're going to talk about the moon, which from that fire aspect, you have this direct water aspect. Water being our memory and being really connected with the sixth dimension known as the self, our blood, you're going to realize that the moon plays a very big role as a celestial being. And you'll hear a lot of talk about the moon being fake, the moon being hollow, the moon being this, the moon being that. I mean, it doesn't really matter because it has an effect that's measurable and has been measurable for times of record before science has even came into these planes of knowledge. These sciences have not even caught up with this stuff for as long as the moon has been affecting us. The moon is a celestial being known as Selena. The moon is a celestial being that pulls and controls the tides, the waters, and the blood. It's funny that it's the blood because the moon rules Cancer, which is family. Family. I'm not going to tell you where they fall and are debilitated in just yet, because if I tell you where they're best and what they're ruled by, the opposite energy, has obviously a specific effect on it. Okay, and we'll go into that some more, but know that Cancer, water, cardinal energy, all right, is the home ruler of the moon, which represents maternity, represents the actual blood of the family. The opposite would be Saturn, which represents the legacy and the reputation of the family. But we're not worried about that with the moon. With the moon right now, we really want to focus on the emotion. We really want to focus on the subconscious mind, because this is the energy that the moon is pervading. This is the energy that the moon is holding down. Okay, so we have cardinal water in the moon. Peace, David. Welcome in. Love you, bro. So yes, that is the ruler of it. And then the opposite of it would be what? Capricorn, which is a reputation, the legacy, actually what the family does on the earth, in the earth frame. But you don't want to necessarily associate that with the moon, because if that's what that energy is, the part of the family that is reputation, legacy, generational wealth, well, then we're going to assign that to Saturn, and we'll go into Saturn later. Another ruler or exaltation of the moon would be Taurus. Now, why Taurus? Because Taurus is all about the finer things in life. It's an earth sign and it's fixed. It's about the actual senses. It's about actual feeling. And it's funny enough to me that it rules the mouth. And you can do so much with your voice when it comes to soothing or calming somebody down. They say Tauruses are supposed to have like this mouth of light, and they can usually always sing, or they know how to articulate themselves in certain ways because they don't waste many words, and they know usually what they're talking about. They usually know what they're on. And Tauruses are they don't like to talk about something unless they're secure in it. Okay, secure is the main key word for Taurus and moon, is security. The moon, being a mother energy, really wants to be secure. And this Taurus, not only is this Venus love, this emotion, this affectionate emotion and relationships is there, but it's with the Cancer energy, which is the family. So the celestial energy of Selena, of the moon, okay, is that of the family bloodline, the family blood, the memories, the ancestors. Cancer and the moon has everything to do with memories. That's why you can set intentions into it. Time will pass, you let them go, you cleanse, you put new things in there. You can ebb and flow with the moon's energies more than any other plane, any other celestial being. You can do the most magic with the moon because it's the most active celestial being to us. Like, it's the closest thing to us. More than anything, that's what the blood is, you know what I'm saying? And you can go from liquid to solid or liquid to gas easy. You can go either in both directions from the sixth dimension. This is why I really love the moon, because water is the most malleable supercomputer, meaning that it holding DNA in your blood gives you memories of not only the past, but memories of the future, because this is a celestial energy that exists. You're experiencing in a point in time. This is how deep the moon is. Ain't nobody gonna talk about the moon like this. This is what the moon's really about. Bloodlines. Bloodlines, DNA. So you'll see me putting blood around a lot because that represents family. That represents that one thing we all have in common, that unity, that DNA. That's one thing that makes us all family at the end of the day. Okay, so this moon energy, beautiful, love it. Ruled by Taurus to give you actual security, financial, physical security. So this is when your mom picks you up and actually pats you, actually touches you. This is when your mom feeds you, it nourishes your body. This is when your family feeds you as a baby, as a child, you can't do for yourself. Your mother comes in with the breast milk to physically feed you. That's Taurus energy. That is Taurus TLC, tender love and care physically, but it can also be done emotionally. In that breastfeeding process, you're feeding not only nutrients and everything that child will need to grow, but you're also feeding that child emotions from the mother, from the moon, from the mom. This is how deep that moon energy goes, and how it should be that much respected for those reasons. Okay, so shouts out to the moon, Mama Moon, and shouts out to our sun, the creator sun, if you will. In a sense, this is the one, you know, that really gave you that life and that spark. But there is another father and there is another mother that we'll go into next, and they are the opposite natures of the sun and the moon. The opposite nature of the sun is the other father. It actually has two other fathers. Two other fathers that I was going to say primarily Saturn, but it's actually also Jupiter. Jupiter is actually another father type of energy for women. For men, it's going to be like a Venus is like an extra mother. Okay. And then when you have the moon, opposite the moon, Cancer is the dark father, or the disciplined father known as Saturn, which is ruled by Capricorn, the opposite of Cancer. Okay. And what's the opposite of the Taurus aspect of the moon? Scorpio. Pluto is known as the dark mother. And we'll go into Scorpio energy next, the dark mother. Okay. And that's Pluto. There's a lot of divine codes that really connect all of these astrology signs together that is just not in books. It's just not online. And I've been able to disseminate, like figure out what they are through the 369 source code, and really figure out true relations and different understandings of these energies. Okay. And so let's look at, I'm going to skip over to Saturn right now just because it's so relative. Saturn, okay, is ruled by Capricorn, which is the cardinal earth sign. Cardinal earth. Capricorn is all about, like we said before, reputation, legacy, but it's also a lot about discipline. So instead of this being a earth sign that nurtures and feeds you, this is the earth sign that takes away from you. This is the earth sign that comes in and says, you can't have that anymore. Give me that. You want to do this, you want to do that, I'm going to take this from you. That's Saturn, Saturn's dad. Saturn comes around and says, no, put that down. Saturn says, you want to lie? Give me that. I'll take that. And it's funny being a father, being with these children, that's exactly what you have to do. It's the best thing for them. The worst thing for somebody to have is no discipline. I promise you. Think about that. When you feel, excuse me, if you ever feel bad about disciplining, think about the opposite. What if it wasn't there at all? You know, there's a purpose for this energy, even though it has a malefic feeling to it, like it's taking away, it's hurting and punishing. It's actually building you. It's actually evolving you. It's actually allowing the reputation to be cultivated in the truest form. It's allowing you to earn your growth. It's allowing you to earn your success, to earn your family honor and reputation. And this is known, Capricorn is known as the businesses and the brands. We went deep into this in the last one. Okay, but we're talking about Saturn. All right, Saturn is actually also ruled by Aquarius. So you're going to notice that the irony of the golden age is that it begins and ends in Aquarius, age of Aquarius, and the age of Capricorn. That's the golden age. It's like a 5,000, 10,000 year period, I believe, of this golden age. And this is just an astrological cycle. So I'm not saying it's going to get bad all the way in this new cycle. It's probably just going to be like an upgraded evolution of this. You know what I mean? It's going to be better again. The next golden age is going to be like even better type of deal. But anyway, before we go too far in the future, let's stay now before we go 10,000 years ahead of time. Saturn ruling Capricorn and Aquarius has everything to do with success, has everything to do with reputation, has everything to do with organization. Aquarius has everything to do with information and knowledge and what is true, actual facts, actual science. This is fixed air. This is the truth. This is knowledge and thoughts that do not care about how you feel. This is what it is. Okay? That's Aquarius energy. This is the age of Aquarius. I don't care how you feel. You can tell feelings are very neglected right now. Good. Welcome to a golden age. Focus on the facts now. Focus on why you keep putting yourself in pain. Focus on why you keep putting yourself in these bad situations with Saturn, where you keep getting disciplined and it seems like you're at a loss in your life. Maybe you should look at your Saturn a little closer. And as you learn about Saturn, you'll see that this is like a Saturn return. And the way that I like to look at Saturn, I just love using this example. I just said this example to Chief this a moment ago, and I just love this example. For those who've had fathers, and if you haven't, I'm sorry, this might be a little difficult of an explanation for you, but this is for the people who know what it's like to have a dad, okay, or a father figure or a disciplinary figure that would give you jobs or tasks, or maybe even a boss or a CEO, somebody who you would work for that you really respect, somebody that you highly respect, or somebody that can teach you some type of trade or skill or something like that, a disciplinary role in your life. Okay, whenever this disciplinary role, this person, whoever this is that has the ability to discipline you, that is Saturn energy. When this is how I explain it. My dad's a reggae rap artist, so he plays music super loud as a 64 Chevy Cream Impala, you know, chromed out. Okay, drop top. There's my dad. You know what I'm saying? He'll pick me up from school. I'll hear him 3 blocks away. He'll be coming to the house. I'll hear him from all the way at the bottom of the hill. Like that's like 5-10 minutes away. I can hear my dad pulling up already. And this is how I like to look at Saturn and Saturn return for y'all to understand the disciplinary aspects and how this is actually a good thing, but it is also a judgment. It is also a disciplinary moment. It is also an opportunity though. And this is why. So my dad told me to clean my room. By the time he gets home, my room better be clean. I got home from school. I took the chicken out. Like they said, take the chicken out the freezer so get defrost. I did that. I did some of my homework. I'm gonna do some more later. Oh, my friend pulled up. I went and played catch for a little bit outside. Came back inside. I did the dishes. I did all kinds of things. All of a sudden, I hear that music coming down the block. Oh, snap. My dad told me to clean my room. Oh, okay. Saturn said, clean my room. That's all Saturn wanted me to do. They said, Pisces, 10th house. Go clean your room. That's what you got to do. Pisces, 10th house. That's my Saturn placement. Okay. Clean your room. All right. So I'm going around this house doing all this different stuff. Now I hear dad coming home. My room ain't clean. Dad done got he got me a new car. He done got me a new bike. He done got me all my favorite toys. He done got me everything that I'm gonna need to get to my next level with a party. He got me a gold chain and a trophy and a new rollie. You know what I'm saying? And lots of love. Lots of love. He got me a new girl too. He brought the girl of my dreams to me. Somehow he didn't even know he did that part, but you know, it can happen like that. And so my room ain't clean. Dad gets home. Dang, you did all this stuff, but you didn't do the one thing I told you to do. I had all this stuff ready for you, and I can't give it to you now. What a shame. Matter of fact, now I got to punish you even more. And so you'll go through this Saturn return, which took 30 years to get to. And now you have to work with your Saturn in an even more difficult way. You just like, that's like such a sad missed opportunity. And this is where I personally, from what I've experienced, this is the saddest planet to fail, because this is when people die and they were completely out of their purpose. This is when people like end up homeless at complete losses, you know, from irrecoverable situations. You know, that's Saturn. You messed up your Saturn return. All you had to do is clean your room, bro. Now reverse that. You know what I'm saying? First thing I did when I got home was clean my room. I handled my Saturn. It said Pisces 10th house, do this. All right, I'm doing that as I'm focused. Let me do that. I'm pretty mastered in that area. The room's really clean. I've done as best I could. I did the best that I could to clean this room. Okay, I may have not been able to steam the walls. I may have not been able to repaint everything, but I did the best that I could to clean that room. And I'm proud of what I've done. By the time I'm 30 and I've been working on that energy and Saturn is returning, I hear that car coming down the street. I may have not took the chicken out, forgot that. I may have not finished my homework yet. My homie feels left out because I didn't go and play catch with him. But guess what? When dad gets home, you cleaned your room. Bet that's all I really wanted you to do because of X, Y, and Z. Now here, look, I got you these toys. I got you the love of your life. Here, you know, you could do this, and we're gonna go take those karate classes like you wanted, and then we can go do that. I got you a new car. Here, I'm gonna come take you around my successful friends too, so you can see what daddy does, so you can see how I do it, so you could be instantly successful. And I'm gonna guide you into success because you have shown me responsibility, Saturn. And y'all know how responsibilities go. You don't think like, ooh, responsibility, let me get that. No, it's like, oh, responsibilities. But that's with great power comes great responsibility. You can't handle the power, well, then you should have less responsibility. And that's just fine if that's who you are. At least be true to yourself. Then you have, you know, Aquarius is also ruling Uranus, which is about intense transformation. Okay. So we'll just hop skip over to Uranus real quick. Now that we've clarified Saturn, we're going to hop skip to Uranus and then we're going to Pluto. The reason why we're going to go into Uranus right now, and you'll see why, is because Uranus also is ruled by Aquarius and is exalted by what? Scorpio. So we're going to go into Pluto next, right? Look at how this connects. Okay. So you go into your Uranus, which is about community, society, government, the way that we do things, just kind of like Saturn, kind of like the structure of Saturn. But Uranus is more of like organization. It's more like, you know, the collective consciousness of humanity, you know what I'm saying? And morals and things like that. And those can change very fast, very rapidly, very instantly. And Uranus and Aquarius is known for that innovation, change. It's like a lightning bolt. And Scorpio is a sign of emergency, extremism. So this is a great harmonic resonance with the planet of Uranus and its energy. Uranus is a big governing force of the collective consciousness in the air form. Okay, Neptune would be the water form, but the air form of the collective consciousness is Uranus. And that is what we are all on right now. That's why we all on this right now, because of Uranus's position in Taurus. We're learning about money. We're learning how to add value and take back value and reassess value to different areas. That's what we're doing in this golden age. We're reassessing value. And we're changing our whole government system. We're evolving and rapidly, intensely changing it based on facts and knowledge and what we're learning to be true The truth is coming out and the lies are dying in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius being fixed air, facts, all usually represented by science. And it also being exalted in Scorpio isn't just the science aspect and the fixed air facts part of it, but it's the shamanistic spiritual side of it as well. It's the spiritual side of transformation. It's the spiritual evolution. Now you got 360 vision in Uranus. That sounds so funny. But yeah, or Uranus. I don't know how you want me to say it. But you have 360 vision because of this energy being home and exalted. And I'm lucky enough to have that. I have Uranus in Aquarius in the 8th house. Lucky me. You know, but that gives you extreme spiritual insight. Extreme spiritual insight. Okay. Scorpio is the shaman. Scorpio is fixed water. So you got fixed air and fixed water. Actual spirit, what's really there, actual connection to the spirit realm. It's not faked. You know, this is really there. This connection is real. And you feel it. And this is the thing that nobody can tell you different. This is that one deep connection that you have with the divine. And that is through a scorpionic energy. These are the things that are going to happen in your life that are going to force you to feel spiritual, are going to force you to change your spiritual values. And they're going to force you to learn new things, and they go hand in hand. Learning new information, new facts, knowledge of self. This is all Uranus, age of Aquarius, exalted in Scorpio. Those facts will change your spiritual outlook on everything, and everything can transform and evolve overnight. Overnight. Uranus is a great planet for evolution and transformation, which is why it's ruled by Aquarius, exalted in Scorpio. Okay. Neptune, really similar. We can go into Neptune some more, but I want to jump to Pluto real quick. Pluto being the opposite of the sun, you know, instead of it being life coming in, is death. You know, it's straight death. You know, it's the opposite of life. This is ruled by Scorpio. This is known as the dark mother. Scorpio is known for death and transformation. This is the fixed water we were just building on. This energy goes into Pluto. Pluto is also known as what I would like to call a phoenix. And although it is basically opposite of the sun, it's actually an agent of the sun to return its energy to itself. Pluto is known as the phoenix, rebirth, not just death, but rebirth. So Pluto is arguably exalted in Leo and Cancer. I'll tell you that it is exalted in Leo and Cancer, the father and the mother. You will be reborn in every way through that Scorpio energy of Pluto. Pluto and Scorpio truly represents this fixed water. It's like fixed beliefs. This is like your fixed connection to the universe. So it might not be a healthy one sometimes. There might be a lot of fears. There might be a lot of toxicity with oneself to where you need to go to do an ayahuasca ceremony to go cleanse your soul, go cleanse your spirit, go die real quick and reset and rebirth yourself. That would be a Scorpio moment. To let go of everything that you've been emotionally holding on to, that's holding you back emotionally through water, which would be like memories, fixed water, memories, emotional connections and bonds. Death. Scorpio wants you to be able to change that in an instant. It wants you to be able to have full control of that water, fixed water, emotional control, emotional intelligence is Scorpio. And these people can become very manipulative because they don't really care about emotions. They just use them. I could use my emotions to heal or kill. And that is a Scorpio's ability. You know, obviously the higher self Scorpio is going to use its energy and its ability to go so deep to find those truths that you're so afraid of and bring them up to the light. They're like, here, this is you. And now a Scorpio has become a healer because they don't care what you say. This is the truth. Take it or leave it. Die. You know, I mean, that's a Scorpio. It's very cut off, very cutthroat, very intense, very quick, like that lightning bolt of Uranus. That's why it's really good in Uranus. It's exalted there because it's just like lightning. Emergencies, quick, die, instant, death, tower card. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So when you look at Scorpio energy, the dark mother, this is also another energy that is necessary. This is the TLC that you need that says you need to die. Try again. This is the TLC that you get that says, I know that you went through a lot and it seems like it was wasted, but it wasn't. Die real quick, let go of those things, keep the lesson, and be reborn. And out of the ashes that you created, a new phoenix will rise with that same level of wisdom, but a whole new level of youth, a whole new level of life. Let go to grow. Saddles a free soul for that one. It's called fertile soil. It's funny that the phoenix turned into ashes because it's fertile. His song called Fertile Soil. Let go to grow. That is Pluto. That's a Plutonian song. It is a phoenix song. So not only is it ruled by death, but it is exalted by life. Pluto. Leo Pluto. Luckily I have that too. Scorpio Pluto in the 5th house. I have that too. You know, this is a beautiful placement, but it's hard. It's very difficult because there's nothing really easy about Pluto. This is everything to do with your fears, everything to do with what you don't want to dive into and look at, where actually you'll find is your truest healing, your deepest healing, and a new life. You don't want to get stuck building your life around your fears. If you have a fear or something, Pluto says, learn how to do alchemy. Learn how to take this dark and turn it into light. Take this death and give you new life. It's rebirth. It's transformation itself. So that's Pluto. All right. And I'm gonna backtrack now. And I'm gonna go from where Pluto ruled by Scorpio. Actually, also, Scorpio also rules Mars. Mars is ruled by Aries and Scorpio. Funny how Mars is ruled by Aries and Scorpio, because Scorpio, the Pluto is exalted in Leo, in the 5th house, Leo, which would be the sun. And Aries is another, it's funny, the exaltation of the sun. So that's so funny how that plays out, because Scorpio and Aries are both the rulers of Mars. And Mars is your actual willpower and drive to do and to take actual action. That's why they call it the god of war, because this is what it's going to do to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to throw the punch? Are you going to talk it out? Are you going to influence them? Well, Scorpio, what it's going to do in Mars is, since it's water, it's not going to directly do anything. It's going to indirectly do everything. It's going to control itself, so much so that it can get the pieces around it to move how they want. They don't have to move nothing. So Scorpio energy learns how to just do enough to get things to move how they want them to. So Scorpio becomes very powerful in Mars, but it's also dangerous because these people can use it for the wrong reasons. Go ahead, Mari.
What happened?
You unmuted. I don't know if you wanted to say something.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean that. 1 second.
Oh, okay, cool. I just want y'all to know you guys are welcome to talk. This is more of a class format that is being recorded, so it's cool to be silent as well. But if you have something to say, always feel free. But other than that, just keep your mics muted unless you plan on talking. I'll stop for you and listen. You know, because you never know. It's a network. I teach a lot, but you know, anybody can really hold a class here on this network. So just to put that out there again. So we go back to Mars. Scorpio is one of its main rulers. It's actually one of its original rulers. And it's really about controlling yourself. Funny enough that Mars is exalted in Capricorn, because that's also a big discipline planet. So Mars really likes to be disciplined. Mars really likes to be controlled. These are your actions. This is your willpower. These are your movements. It does not like to be wasteful. It does not like to make the wrong mistake, make the wrong moves. You know, it can easily turn into violence and war when unmastered. You see, Aries is all about following the instincts. Aries is all about thinking, not doing. Don't let them confuse you. Aries rules the head. Aries is about thinking. When it's Aries time and I wake up, yeah, you can get active, you can get moving, get your blood flowing so you can get thinking, not get buff. So Aries rules the top, the neocortex. This is where when you wake up in the morning in the rising from 6 a.m., that's like the Aries time when the sun rises. This is a new idea, you know, and it's willpower. It gets you up, it gets you going. That's the vibe of Mars. What gets you going? What gets you up? You know, willpower. For what reason are you doing things? Example, I have a Mars in Virgo in the third house. So it's Virgo cusping Leo. So I'm really a perfectionist about everything that I do. Like when it comes to my will power, when I'm taking action on things, my whole goal is to do something perfectly to the finest detail that I can. And I put a lot of passion into it. So I probably won't start a project unless I know for sure I got the details on it because I put a lot of pride in my work. So my Mars has a high level of control. Mars really wants to be controlled. Okay, the more wild the Mars, the more dangerous it could be because you can start to cause problems with people and how you're moving. You can start getting in the way, or you can get in your own way because your willpower or your motives may be out of alignment with what you know is in your best interest. This is what happens when you have a planet and an energy it doesn't want to be in. So if it's in Aries, you put Mars in Aries because it's ruled there. Well, the opposite of Aries would be what? Libra. So that would be doing what they want me to do. Not doing what I want to do, doing what they want me to do. That would be a Libra Mars. I'm not going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do what's best for everybody. That could be a good thing if used the right way, but it could be a very detrimental thing if you're never doing anything for you. So if you had a Libra Mars, you'd have to learn how to balance that. You'd have to learn how to do just enough for you and your partner. You'd have to learn how to do just enough work for your partner and do the proper amount of work on yourself. That's the challenge of the Mars. But the beauty of the Mars in the Libra in the opposite position is that they do want to create the win-win scenarios all the time. But there's a many of ways to do that. Don't worry about creating win-win scenarios if you're not winning. So that's Libra Mars and its detriment. But when it's in Aries, you're naturally going to do what you want to do. You're naturally going to do what's meant for you. Naturally, that's the energy of Mars. We're talking about its rulership, so you know the energy of the planet. You're getting to know the planet through the signs. And you're learning the signs as you learn about the planet. These are the celestial energies. These are characteristics of celestial beings that you are, and you are supposed to stay connected to. They can talk to you in dreams. You can go to them and meet with them and talk with them. And because they operate just at different frequencies, all you got to do is change your frequency. It's in your astral body. Go to sleep on a certain vibe. You're going to have certain energies more concentrated. You're going to get messages from certain things. So be careful what vibe you want. Quite realistically, that's why one of the first things I taught in Soul Redemption was the power of sleep and dreams and how to be a psychonautical traveler and how to use that to your best benefit. That was one of the very first things that we went through Soul Redemption, using the soul system, the SOL system. And if you're just here for an astrology class, you haven't really gotten into the other classes or anything, let me know. I have links for everything. Okay, if you're only here for the astrology sections, the astrology classes, don't worry, I have links to all of the previous classes as well from 360 Vision moving forward. So I just wanted to put that out there as well. Going back to Mars, you're going to see with its scorpionic nature, it wants to move other people by controlling its own emotions. And through its Aries nature, Aries is accuracy, Aries is immediate, you know, it's quick to take action. It's a fire cardinal sign. So it's changing direction, but it's about will and drive and influence. And fire signs can really inspire you. So inspiration and passion is something you'll get with Aries. And Aries, you're not supposed to second guess how you feel. If you got an Aries Mars, you're supposed to just do exactly how you feel because that was the perfect thing for you to do. That's why it's such a good placement, because you can't make a mistake sometimes. And as long as your mind is on right, because Aries rules what? The thoughts, the mind. Aries rules the head, it rules the brain. Okay? So it can control how you do move your body, but a good Aries, they're going to learn how to get their results with the least amount of energy by thinking through it, by strategizing. So if you're an Aries, you should be an instantaneous, powerful strategizer. Anywhere you have Aries, look at that as strategy and problem solving. People don't talk to you about Aries like that, but that's what it is. Learn how to think before you move. That is why it's exalted in Capricorn. because you do step 1, step 2, step 3, then step 4. And now it's complete the right way. Perfect. Golden age. Okay, so that's Mars. We'll go into, I like Venus, because the opposite of Mars, would be Aries, is going to be Libra. Libra is the ruler, one of the rulers of Venus. Another ruler of Venus is Taurus, okay, which is exalting the moon. So Taurus has a good relationship with the moon. Venus has a good relationship with the moon. Venus doesn't have the best relationship with Mars, but it has a complementary relationship with Mars. So you're going to find out Scorpio having that sexual nature to it. This is where it starts to really kick in, when the Scorpio is connected to Mars. Now your drive is emotionally driven. Your drive is emotionally charged, okay, through Venus and that Taurus vibe, that physical feeling. Now you can tie in physical and emotional and passion. And now you get this sexy vibe. You get sensuality. You get this Venus, Taurus. Touch me. Every touch is just so pleasing. Energy coming out of your hands, your senses. Smells so good. What is that, aphrodisiac? What? That tastes so good. Ooh, the texture of it though. Ooh, this material feels nice, babe. Thank you. This feels sexy. This is turning me on. Venus and Taurus. It's the physical side of love. And you'll find it directly tying to the, that Scorpio energy. It's opposite or complementary in Mars, which is where you get a lot of that passion and flair. So this is where you get why they put Mars so highly connected with sex drive. But that's in relation to Venus. Venus is the partners itself. Venus are the deals and the contracts and how the energy will be exchanged. So you'll see Libra energy and Taurus energy ruling Venus. Taurus is like the actual exchange itself, the actual energy exchange, itself. That's Taurus. Taurus is, here's $5 for that sandwich. The actual transaction itself, that exchange, is Taurus. Energy, money, value, quality. That's all Taurus. What is the quality? What is the value of this? You got the values, you got the quality, you have the, what's that word? The appraisal. Okay, appraisal. Let me appraise these gems. Oh, this is worth about $5 million. That's Taurus energy. Okay, value. It leads to a heavy focus. This is fixed earth. Fixed earth. This goes directly with the scales. Taurus would be the gold on the scales. You got gold and then this item on both sides of the scales, which is Libra, which is ruler of Venus. Taurus would be the money on there and the object, and then it's balance or it's imbalance. So this is Venus. So this is you and your partner. Okay, and Venus in the scales, with Libra comes in to see, is this a healthy contract? Is this a good trade? Is this a fair trade? Is this a healthy or unhealthy relationship? And let the Venus energies be flowing right. Then you have what's called as a love language. It's like, yeah, no, these things are balanced. These things get along here and here, or this might not work like this. You weigh all these different values and pros and cons and pros and cons. But all of that weighing and all of that agreement and all of that valuing and all that appraising of this person, of this phone, of this item, of this determines your relationship with it. So Libra rules relationships, contracts. This is our relationship. This is our contract. I've used my Taurus energy to appraise these values, see what you can do for me, what you can't do for me, what I can do for you, what you can't do for me. That's all Venus energy, value. And then you weigh the values and you create a contract and a relationship with something. And this is how Venus works. This is the energy of Aphrodite, of Venus. You know what I mean? She wants to add value to you. Trust me. It wants to add value. It's a beneficial planet. This is wherever your Venus is. That's how you add value into your contracts with people. So for me, I have a Venus Taurus in the 11th house. So I want to raise the value of humanity through information and knowledge. Fixed air, 11th house, Aquarius. But my Venus is in Taurus. So I want to be a physical representation of what I'm talking about, of the values and principles that I'm trying to teach to the world that is based on actual facts. And I want everybody to feel as good as I feel. I want everybody's senses to be as activated as my senses. I want everybody to taste the food that I taste, smell the beautiful smells I smell, feel the beautiful love I feel. Through all of my senses, I want all of humanity to feel the heights of that, the finest of value. I want you to experience the best value you can in your life. That's my Venus. That's my love language. I'm lucky it is where it is, so it's global love. It's big love, and it's real love. It's objective love. It's true value love. I love my Venus, Taurus, 11th house. Learn your Venus. Learn your love language. Learn how you want to connect with anyone or anything. How? Who should you connect with? You connect with a lot of people, just a couple people, maybe just one person, maybe a small group of people. It's all in your snapshot of your chart. Where's your Venus? Just look at it. What house? What place? What placement? Well, now we know what the celestial body is doing. Now we know what the celestial energy is all about. Let's look at where it's at and let's see if that's a good match. And let's see if it's not a good match. Well, how can we make use of this still? How can we make this work for us still? Because it's who you are. It's not about to change. You better just learn how to use you. You better just learn how to master you. You ain't got no time to change the world, but you do got all the time to change yourself. You have infinite time to change yourself. You do not have time to change the world. That is a failing mission. That is a Luciferic ascension. Have fun. I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and just change myself and evolve myself and work on me daily, constantly. And I don't care if it hurts your feelings because I had to do this. You'll love me later. I'm going to do what I need to do to speak my love language. I'm studying my Venus so I can communicate and move in this world with love. I want to speak love. So I'm going to learn my love language. I don't need to learn your love language. Speak your own love language. Love me how you're supposed to love. Don't love me how you think we're supposed to love. And don't love me from my Venus. Love me from yours. Speak your love language. And if it's compatible with me, we're going to be talking all day. That's how me and Chiefess are. That's how me and Blood Raina. That's how we are. Literally just the same language nonstop. There's nothing that we say to each other that is like, as we learn about each other, as we move through life, you know, I'm talking about a relationship here, right? As we progress, we're realizing that there's literally me being me 1000% allows her to be her 1000%. All the things that we've gained as traumas and generational curses to get along with people, we actually get to let those all go to be together. If we let go of all of our generational curses and traumas and all the things that stop us from being ourselves, our relationships gets closer and closer and closer. That's who you need to find to be in a relationship with, the person to where you can be less fake with, where you can actually start to let more of yourself out with like, yo, I could do that with you. You cool with that? You do that too? Oh man, here I come. Here comes me. And then all of a sudden everybody's life gets better from you being yourself and speaking your own love language. That's what you want. If that takes you to 50 wives, have fun. If that takes you to one wife, have one. As long as you are staying true to yourself, I don't care. Everybody's different. Honor yourself. Shout out to Honor for that one. She has that honor thyself thing. So shouts out to Honor for that. You know, honor thyself. She really pushes that. You know, I like that. That's the key. That's major key. And that's all coming from Venus. Notice that I just taught you about the planet of relationships and the message is honor thyself. Love language. Do you even speak it with yourself? So that's Venus. We'll go to Jupiter from Venus. Actually, I want to go to Mercury real quick. And then I'm going to go from Mercury to Jupiter. And Mercury, actually just go to Jupiter because Jupiter is what women would look at more so to see their partner. And if we're going to go from relationships to the next plane, from Venus to the next plane, we're going to go to Jupiter next. In Jupiter, for women, the feminine energy, the feminine aspect of man, you know, you're going to realize the womb man, the one who has a womb, you know, you're going to realize that Jupiter and what you want in a partner, bro, y'all women don't want a man that's smarter than you, period. I mean, that's not smarter than you, period. Like, y'all want a man that's smarter than you, pyramid. Facts, that's it. Like, if you're smarter than your dude, it's instantly a turn off. Instantly. So women are looking for Jupiters as men. And that's just the natural way of things, because women need more of an input. You know, they need certain things differently than what men need. That's just from a proton to an electron state of view. Like, y'all can argue that as much as you want. If you look deeper into your chart, you'll see another level of determining feminine and masculine energies. Okay, so I mean, all the fire signs and air signs are masculine. All the water signs and earth signs are feminine. So you could be a male with mad feminine energy, or you could be a woman with mad masculine energy. Either way, do you have a womb or not? Okay, that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying like man or woman. And that level of biological function, women look towards a provider. They look towards somebody that's going to put their seed inside of them, take that information and make something out of it. So a woman's looking for a Jupiter. A woman's looking for a man that's smarter than her, that can expand her and make her more of what she already is. She don't really care about much else, you know? And if it's not that, it's pretty toxic. I don't know what you want a man for as a woman. I don't know what kind of, that's some weird stuff. You want a man that's stupider than you. You want a man that you can run and control and rule. That's a little weird. I'm not going to lie. I'd like to hear the reasoning behind it. If that's you, let's talk about it. Hit me up. Let's talk, man. I can learn something maybe. But as far as I'm concerned, Jupiter is paramount for women in relationships because this is the teacher. Jupiter ruled by Sagittarius, expansion, long distance travels into the soul, into the mind, across the world. You want a man that can take care of you in a sense. You want a man that you can achieve all your dreams and dreams, your goals and dreams with. You want a man that can teach you and that you can share a philosophy and a lifestyle and build a culture with. You want something to cultivate. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. That's culture. That's knowledge applied is Jupiter. Jupiter is knowledge applied. Jupiter is culture itself. Jupiter is what is the moral code of this knowledge applied? Like, what does this look like? What does this knowledge look like? You go to India, you see what they eat. You see how they eat. You see what they dress. You see how they dress. You see how the house smells. You see all these little details, when they wear what, why they wear what. All these traditions, that's all Sagittarius. That's all Jupiter. And if you go to this new land, you got to take some time to sit there and learn their ways, and learn their customs. They're going to educate you. They're going to teach you, show you. And in doing so, you're going to expand on who you already are by learning something completely foreign. So although Sagittarius is known to be such a teacher and a preacher, they're actually the best students because they travel long distances. They go around and learn different things, learn different ways of lives. And if you can't leave your house, you can't move your legs, they can travel in the mind. They know how to travel to all kinds of realms of thoughts. So they become the most optimistic sign in astrology. Jupiter, Sagittarius, the most optimistic sign because they're looking at, how to add to themselves, how to give. They're learning so that they can give. They're learning so they can be better, so they can give. They're always thinking about how can I make this work? It's a mutable fire. So they're willing to bend their will. They're willing to change their morals. They're willing to change their drive. They're willing to change their identity for a moment to learn, grow, and expand. I'm gonna become something I've never been real quick, and then there's the Sagittarius energy. Go somewhere you've never been, learn something completely new, go back to another land, and you're doing it now, and you're teaching them this new way of life. You've integrated it, you've grown, you've expanded. They'll tell you a lot more about Jupiter. Jupiter, another energy that Jupiter has is that it's just expansion in itself. So just think of expansion in itself, whether that's being a student and you're expanding and you're willing to learn, or you're being a teacher and you're expanding the minds and you're playing as a catalyst. They're both Sagittarius energy. The second ruler of Sagittarius, Jupiter is Pisces. Pisces also rules Jupiter. Okay. Jupiter is also ruled by Pisces because this is long distance travels, like I said. Long distance travels. Pisces is the primordial waters. This is mutable water. This is basically all spirit, any form, all possibilities in every form, in all forms. 12 is like everything. 12 is like God itself. Just any possibility. The quantum field itself. That's 12. And when you're talking about expansion, you got Jupiter in a Pisces energy, you can become whatever. You can expand whatever, but it's spiritual first. But because you can expand anything spiritually, Jupiter and Pisces has the ability to manifest whatever they want. But be careful, because Jupiter is only an amplifier. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to make things sweet. It's just going to amplify what you already want. So be careful for what you wish for, because you're going to get it. And if you don't have your soul profile, and if you don't know who you are completely, you aren't studying yourself and all these different celestial beings and how they're operating with you, what their relationship is with you is. Well, your relationship is with these celestial beings. If you don't know that, is what you call a lost soul. You can find yourself making decisions and manifesting things that are not best for you. Okay, and you're going to amplify that. So you got to be careful. You got to make sure that you're really connected and tapped into something real by mastering all of these celestial energies, not any one or two or three, but knowing all of them to a T. Okay, Jupiter is also exalted in the Cancer energy. And this is another way of saying, feelings and families. I would really say that this is where you get into culture. Jupiter is exalted when it comes to feelings, because not only are you learning, practically, not only are you learning like by actually doing something with these people, learning their traditions, their wills, what I'm saying? Not only are you just, expanding through ideas and thoughts and things that you could manifest in infinite ideas, infinite field, but now you have enhanced feelings. When Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, you have exalted feelings. You feel so much that is enough to evolve you. Intensified emotion can be a very good thing. Jupiter in Cancer screams generational healing to me. That screams healing the DNA, repairing it, fixing it, having blessed DNA, having God genes. That sounds like Jupiter Cancer to me. Like that's a very blessed placement. That's God genes there, but it doesn't ultimately make it something good, because there's a whole other chart. And then there's how you use it. So although these celestial beings exist in all of us, these energies exist in all of us, how are you using them? They're there, but how are you using them? You can have a partner, but what is your relationship with them? How are you using them? You can have a business, but how are you using the money that you make from it? That's going to determine your futures. That's going to determine your reality. Okay, so that's where we go into Jupiter. Jupiter is way deeper than that, and it goes crazy. Jupiter is also known as Zeus. Jupiter is a very fatherly aspect as well, because it's very giving, but it's also educational, it's teaching. So I love that planet, Jupiter. It's such a big energy, and it being ruled by Sagittarius in my time, my generation, the galactic center is also in Sagittarius, which is basically the sun for our sun. That's actually in Sagittarius for us. So Jupiter energy for people in this day and age is massive. And look at where Jupiter's at right now in Pisces. There's major changes and shifts going on. If you haven't been writing in your journals, manifesting what you want, this is definitely the time to be doing that right before Jupiter shifts right back into Aries, because that's when those dreams become reality like that. And if you don't have your focus on right, your perspective on right, you're not studying yourself to a certain extent to know where you're sabotaging yourself. You're not doing the physical work day to day to make those changes and ingrain those new neural pathways in your brain, quite literally. These are actual steps to take. Now, you short on time, call me. I'm here. I'll read it to you and I'll tell you certain things, but ultimately I'm also going, you're going to learn more about you as you're going to keep that information and just continue to learn more about yourself. But what you do with it is up to you. There's probably like one person who I did a reading for who chose to just do the opposite of the reading. And they let me know like things went bad for them when they did that. And I was right. And I was like, I told you, bro. And then they started being toxic with me. So then I had to block them right after that. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, you already doing the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing with your chart. Now you're being toxic to me. It's clear. Like, bye. And it's in your chart too. I seen it and I actually said it to you. You're hard-headed. You're hard-headed. So it happens, man. It happens. Some people's charts really got them down this path, but I truly believe that I don't care what you have the most detrimental chart there's still a way to use that towards divinity. There's still a purpose in there. And if you do that, you're good. And I believe that our purpose is something that adds love. I think that our purpose is something that adds value to other people. Jupiter is highly in tune with our purpose, because this is how your soul is going to journey and expand and learn and grow. And women, you need to find a man that's going to be able to properly guide you on that journey, that spiritual journey. You want to have a spiritual relationship with your man. You don't want to have just a whatever relationship. So they should be teaching you something. They should be leading you somewhere. They should be guiding you somewhere. As a man, definitely look at your Jupiter, do it more. But what you're looking for more so is in your Venus. You're looking for a woman that speaks your love language, so you don't got to argue and fight all the time. So you don't have to sit there and explain yourself all the time, unless that is something that you like to do and that's a part of your language. But know you. Honor thyself and know thyself. Okay? Go from Jupiter. I'm going to Mercury now. And Mercury is going to be our communication planet. Mercury is ruled by Gemini, exalted by Virgo. And it being, and we're not going to go into asteroids. We're going to do asteroids in another class. We'll do north nodes and certain other things in another class. The next one, another one we'll do maybe a draconic astrology class where I'm teaching about the north. No, I'll make it. The next class we'll do is going to be about purpose. There's going to be finding and zeroing in on the purpose. It's the purpose pack. I have something called a purpose pack where we look at certain aspects such as the vertex, the north node, human designs, and certain things. We're going to go into purpose on the next do it yourself class, because this is astrology. It's not limited to this tropical astrology. We'll go into draconic, we'll go into human design, we'll go into Vedic, and I'll explain the different forms of astrology and why you would use them. Okay, so we'll do that in the next class. That'll be class number 3. But in this one, let's go back to Mercury. Mercury is about communication. Mercury is ruled by Gemini, which is mutable air. So these are ideas that can change. It's not like Aquarius where it's fixed air. Whereas these are the facts. These are things that won't change. Mutable air is going to be things that definitely change. Like you're open to all kinds of ideas. Like, yeah, that could be true. Maybe it's not true, but let's play with it. And so Gemini ends up being very playful and fun, very versatile, very open-minded. And it rules communication, not the mouth, but communication. So you can do what you do says a lot about how you think. Intelligence is the ability to adapt based on what you know. So Gemini is ruled by Virgo and ruled by Mercury is ruled by Virgo and Gemini, because Virgo is about details. Virgo is about, it's an earth sign. It's actually about a craft. Virgo is about detailed work. Virgo is about an expertise, critical, detailed work. But Gemini rules the hands and the arms and the lungs. So not only can they talk and do, but they can use hand signs. They can communicate in many forms. And depending on the placement, it'll let you know how you communicate best. Not only how you communicate best, but how you communicate best has a lot to do with how you process information. How you communicate to people has a lot to do with how you process information. I have a Mercury in Gemini in the 12th house. So my memory sometimes slips because of the 12th house. But it's okay because I don't need my memory. I channel. I say what needs to be said when it needs to be said. But I know that from studying myself, to where I allow that to happen, and I'm free flowing, and I'm me. And I'm able just to be me, and me being me is the best thing that I can offer the world. So I just learned how to channel. I just let myself flow with my Gemini 12th house, Mercury. That's how I communicate. I channel words. I'm a source aura. You don't need to get it all right now. I got also a Virgo Mars in the 3rd house. So I have energies that are working directly with my Mercury to add that Virgo energy in there, to where I'm covering all the ground. I'm getting into all of the details. Okay, I don't care. I'm gonna get it all in there. Here's all the details. Here's all the critical information you don't want to look at. Here's what allows you to be an expert with this shit. Here's what allows you not just to know it, but to be an expert with it. Here's the expertise. Here's a mastery to it. So that to the spirituality. So I'm communicating, facts, knowledge, ideas, and spirituality with great detail. And that's just what I do. That's just what I got to do. So that's Mercury. Okay, know your Mercury. One of the best ways that I found to teach and to allow me to learn astrology was just to simply just study my chart. That's it. And now I found out I have a special love for it too. I don't mind doing other people's charts. I don't mind helping other people develop and learn about themselves. Okay, so Mercury is a very beautiful planet for that. It is technically at a bad position in Pisces because it can get a little, spiritually ruled, and now you're not communicating the best way that you can because you're communicating from whatever little world you live in. So hopefully that world is in alignment with reality if you have a 12th house Mercury or anything of that sort, because these people can go crazy. These people can just start channeling the wrong things, or low vibrational things. So you got to be careful there as well with Mercury. So it's all about communication. It's all about listening. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth, being able to listen as much as you talk. Creating. Mercury has a lot to do with creation. Look at how active it is moving. Mercury is always moving, always moving. Yeah, so you should definitely like channel. If you got Mercury Pisces, you should be channeling spirit. It should be something you do like tarot cards, reading anything that just like, oh, okay, here, I'm communicating with the divine for you. I communicate divine messages, subconscious messages with that. So I'm glad you said you had that, because that's how that will play out. Mercury is what you do. So definitely something with your hands. If you have Mercury in Pisces, you could probably channel something through your hands. So pulling those cards, just yet again, that's a beautiful example. Just doing things. I can pull Pokemon cards like tarot cards and derive the meaning from it because I'm communicating with the divine. So I'm gonna pull out the esoteric meaning. I'm explaining something in an esoteric way about something. I'm always gonna see the purpose in it. Pisces in the 2nd house. Yeah, so it's quick. It's you're a quick channel, short burst channel, or you channel while you work. Like whatever it is your work is, God is going into that. Or you're somehow in your money. Like the more spiritual you get, obviously it's going to unlock finances for you. With the 2nd house and the Mercury, process information in a spiritual way, you somehow know how to harness spirituality into bread. That's dope. Good for you. You know how to turn the fish. You put the basket in there and it's full of fish and bread. That's you. That scene in Jesus where they say he put or whoever did that puts the basket in the air that was empty, and it said believe, pull it down and it's full of fish and bread. That's you. That's Taurus and Pisces. That's you. And how you manifest is through belief and really following your spiritual signs, following the white rabbit down the hole is going to help you with the Pisces 2nd house, Mercury. So process information like with intuition. Definitely write down your goals. Definitely write down what you want, and that's gonna help you focus in on that magic. But do know whatever it is that you're connecting to, you're gonna bring it through in a physical way. You might not talk about it like me, but you're gonna bring it through something that you do, most likely your career. That's awesome. It's a really awesome thing. It's probably gonna be spoken for you more because it's Taurus, which rules the mouth and throat. Or the senses. You somehow know how to speak to their senses and spirituality. You may need no words at all. So massages and things like that. So that can also go in there with the physical touch, or food, or chefs. They can feel the knowledge through what you cook. You know what I'm saying? So this is that's pretty much all of the planets. Let me see. I don't want to go into any ones that might just be unnecessary. You can go into Chiron, asteroids, different things down the line, Ceres, Pallas, Juno, Vesta. We can go into the galactic center. We can go into the part of fortune. We can go into the North Node. And we're going to go into North Node, South Node, ICMC. We're going to go into all of these different things over time. These classes are long, I know, but they're covering certain grounds. The first one covered specific ground we need. You rewatch the first one, master the first one, you listen to this one time, you can be like, I'm good. I got it. Boom. And you're going to be able to get this one. You can move forward, keep moving forward. But if this might be a little confusing, or you might be missing some pieces or something's incomplete, probably because you need Astrology 101, part 1 again. I'm doing it in this order for a reason. And if you watch them both, you're getting a major understanding of astrology completely. And this is only the second class. Goes deeper. If anybody has any questions, I'm definitely opening to answering questions right now. Neptune's the only one we didn't go into too much, but Neptune is really just that Pisces energy. It's spirituality itself. You know, it is your connection to the divine more so. But it's such a generational planet, nobody's really going to see much of a difference with it, just like Uranus and Pluto. And you won't have too much of a specific Neptune outside of aspects and outside of house placement. Okay. Uranus, Capricorn, first house. That is okay. So if Uranus is all about transformation, quick transformation, evolution, and revolution, and you put it in Capricorn, that means you're redoing and probably resetting your family legacy to an extent, which is what we're all doing. So a lot of us have Uranus Capricorn or Uranus Aquarius right now in this day and age, and we're redoing like all of our lineage. So that's what that first part is. What house did you say it was in? In the first house. So you got to redefine your image, how you come across to people. You know, you look how you think. I promise you, you look exactly how you think. And that's what this is saying to you is you need to really learn how to evolve your image, transform your image. And it's going to help people transform their image. And with it being Uranus, it's going to be a great level of influence. This is going to be a great area where you do network with people. And it's going to be a great role in the age of the golden age that we're stepping into with that first house. You're going to definitely want to dress the part, look the part, think the part. And this is the person who needs to really change how they look at themselves in the mirror and gain a healthy sense of value. And then you attain that glow. So that's Uranus, Capricorn first house, is knowing that you're doing the spiritual work to change the legacy and the reputation of your family. You might be starting a whole new reputation. You might be picking up the family business or creating the family business for the first time. Seeing as this first house, it's a lot of stuff that you want to do. And you're going to really want to stay true to yourself more than anything with that placement and that being in a generational place, because that's affecting your legacy and your lineage heavily. You know what I mean? So for you, things are really like family matters heavily. But that's directly connected with how you present yourself, how you take action, what you do. You physically are able, like what you're able to do is like physically, visually reestablish legacy, or maybe just create it from the start if it's not already there. So dope placement, powerful placement, big responsibility. First houses, those are leaders. For Aries, Leo, those are leaders. You know what I mean? Aquarius, those are leaders. Even though Aquariuses are quote unquote followers, they're leaders because they're the ones who are bringing shifts. They're the ones who are innovating and creating new ideas. They're the ones who are not afraid to change the system, but they learn from being in the system so heavily. They play a part. They can change the system from within. So class Aquarius. Any other questions? I'm happy to answer them. Like I was saying about Neptune, that's really just your connection to God, your connection to spirituality, how you navigate the quantum field of all dreams, dream realms. This is heavy for your astral body. But the reason why I don't want to talk to you about it too much right here and right now is because you don't navigate through Neptune with the energy here. That's like your astral body energy. So you'd want to look at that specifically. You'd want to read the house and the aspects for that. So researching Neptune, it being ruled by Pisces, that is another one that is arguably exalted in Leo and the moon as well. Leo and Cancer as well, because of its connection and influence to our vitality, our spiritual connection to our vitality, our spiritual connection to our emotional well-being. It's another 369 thing, So this is a beautiful thing. If you were to look at the sun as a 3, look at the moon as a 6, then you would have Neptune as your 9 for your 3 bodies, solid, liquid, gas. Solid, liquid, gas, exactly. So if anybody has anything else, I'll be happy to answer your questions. I'm going to know what is Lilith and Aries in the 3rd house. Okay, so Lilith, we're definitely going to go into Lilith like with asteroids and stuff. Lilith is, basically the natures that you can manipulate and be deceitful with. Like if you ever wanted to go out in the world and start lying and cheating and stealing and playing with people and doing shit like that, that's Lilith. Lilith is how you do that. So how you are a bad person, how you are like that, it's Lilith and South Node put together. It's Lilith. Best place for Lilith to be is since it's a shadow side of the moon, it's going to be right in front of the sun. So when Lilith is with the sun, or if it's working with the sun in a harmonious way, you're using that same energy that you could use sinister, like in a sinister way, in a very in the best possible way. You know, now Lilith has become a good thing. But whenever Lilith is hidden, tucked away, or well, not very well affected, you're gonna see yourself, these people being very sinister. And so when you see it in Aries in the third house, that means that, you know, you can easily use your image and appearance, and you can actually like take action, do actual physical things in the third house. Okay, your actions and what you say can differ. You can say this and say that, but really mean something else. Or you could say this and say that and really just do something else. So it's not that you don't keep your word, it's that you just moved on. You done switched up. You done had a different idea. So that's your Lilith energy. Like when you're not being at your best, you know, you kind of got to switch up thing. Another thing is you are finesse lord. You know how to finesse people very well with that third house, a Gemini Lilith. You can say whatever you want for real. And you know, you can talk somebody out of anything. You could talk somebody out of all kinds of things. You could talk somebody into being their leader. You know, you can gain control of people very easily with this Lilith Aries third house. It could be through looks, it could be through what you physically do, but it's genuinely you are able to take over small groups of people like nothing. And that can be used as a good thing, obviously, but let it be, afflicted placement, Lilith, then this is something that's almost like you can't help it. Just keep doing the wrong thing. Like you can definitely use your sexual energy or your intelligence. All right, it's 4:00. It's Virgo time. Time for me to clean up, start doing different things. All right. If there's no other questions, everybody can go ahead and just like dismiss yourself, say what you want to say. Just go ahead and peace out. Like I said, this video will be posted. We'll be posting this on a private playlist. If you do want this afterwards on that private playlist, just go ahead and send a request. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. If anybody has anything to say, go ahead and say it. And then go ahead and just dismiss yourself one by one, or however you want to do that. I mean a spring roll, so I'm patient. Y'all go ahead.
Thank everybody and goodbye. See y'all later. Have a great day.
Oh, peace, JC.
I personally have something to say. It's just amazing that you're taking the time out to like share a space with us where you can actually like teach us. For me personally, I learned about astrology first starting out in like 2015, 16-ish. And then up until now, it's just been a journey for me. But it has tremendously changed my life. And I've learned like some deep in the windows, like things about myself, which has ultimately helped me along my journey as far as like healing myself and coming more into my purpose. But like one thing that if anybody in the chat right now have children, I just wanted to like make a not extreme, but a very important statement about yeah, you learn about yourself and your purpose, but when you have children, especially if you have more than one child, it then begins to be our responsibility to learn about them. So like just as much as you're learning about yourself, you're gonna have to take time and create a situation for yourself where you can study about yourself and your children simultaneously, because our children is our next generation. That's the next world. And yeah, like it's super important. And I actually learned how to take care of my children better by studying certain things in their charts. I haven't went like too deeply, but I've went deep enough to understand like little things like communication styles, love languages, and everything that Soular was just saying. So yeah, I really appreciate you, Twin Flame, and I appreciate everybody else in the chat, and I'm looking forward to building some more. See you later, guys.
I love you. Well, yeah,
I love you too.
she's absolutely correct. Please, and I have talked about that with them before. It's like, yo, do your kids astrology too, for sure.
Is Chief this in Nola?
Is she in New Orleans?
Yes.
I personally would not like to give out or disclose my location at this moment in time. But
no problem. I feel that. No problem. Won't say nothing.
It's cool. Everybody going in where they at in their life, moving how you need to move. Take pride in that. Take pride in knowing how you need to move, and work with people from where they are. Don't ever try to change people. Always change yourself. If there's something that you have to offer, something you want to give someone, connect with someone, do it from an honest space. You know what I mean? Just do it because it's something that it's in you, not because there's a condition or a get back. Never move from that place. Always put your energy, where it's supposed to be at for you, period. And I promise you things are going to work out. And don't give up on what you want either. Make it work, make it happen. But stay true to your purpose, stay true to whatever your boundaries, limits are, everybody. It is what it is. And respect other people's as well. I don't like when people come in here disrespecting people. You guys see me, I kicked them out. Anything else? Anybody else? Mara, you can keep. Is there anything else?
Hey, peace and love, my brother Soular. This video that you just did, I just want to thank you, man, so much for it, for all the gems that you dropped. Really gave me so much clarity, especially for my astrology chart and how it applies into everything that you do in each area of your life. And really, I've never met anyone that goes into as much detail and that really encapsulates all of what astrology truly means, like you do. And yeah, it's one of a kind, truly. And not only, within astrology, but everything you teach. And always extremely inspired, uplifted every time I get to drop in with your teachings. So I just want to make sure that is absolutely, clarified to the highest extent because of how much it means, truly.
Yeah, I appreciate that, David. I think it's so dope how we got the same name in a sense. I remember when I first met you, I looked at your chart. I immediately knew how amazing you were, but I was also able to see where you were at in your journey. I'm like, oh, you got some ways to go, but you got some fire, bro. You on the way, and I see you literally doing all of those things. Like since I've met you, real time, you've been accomplishing everything that is in the best parts of your chart. I remember your chart very well, and you're a very important person in this day and age. I'll just put that out there again. And thank you. I have these classes saved, recorded, so we can always come back and you can rewatch these if you need to at any time, or you can share them as you see fit, but they are in a private playlist. So when you do share them, it'll probably be to somebody who really wants it anyway. And I don't mind that at all. But, I'll probably be putting these together in curriculums, down the line, probably redefining these videos, condensing them, changing them, redoing them. It'll all be on YouTube. It'll be public one day, but for right now, it's all private. So take advantage of that, to be a part of the group more, join in with the group more. I just dropped you in here just so you can gain some experience, but this is just a Zoom call where I'm teaching an astrology class. Our network is so much more massive than this. You know what I mean? But thank you for dropping, bro. And I got it archived if you ever want more to know if you're in and out. But I got it archived if you ever want the full piece or want to take your time with it.
Of course, brother. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate that. This is going to be definitely, I can see, a huge online university. You'll be top professor recognized across the globe by the time you get done with all this. And I want to see it blossom. Be up there with you. Yeah.
In less time than you think, we're going to be where the guys that we're watching studying, there are those guys already. It's just, it's short amount of time than you think, Dave. But I appreciate the acknowledgement, and I know we team, so just stay connected with me outside of this too, bro.
Yes, for real, man. Always been a pleasure, honor beyond words to be supported by you and to be on this journey with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's my honor. The honor's mine.
I thought I heard someone else that was trying to speak for a second.
Ja, you want to say anything?
Oh yeah, I just want to say I'm grateful for you doing this. I usually like to be in the shadows and listen. And then on top of that, I was busy doing some things during like the session or whatever. And this is part 2, right?
Yeah, this was part 2. Part 1 is archived if you need it.
So how do I go about like requesting it? Requesting
Oh,
the
just like
links
that.
for these?
Just let me know you want it. I'll send it to you.
Okay, well, yeah, I definitely want part one so I can like, and this one so I can go back because, like I said, I was busy doing other things while I was trying to listen. So
That's
yeah,
100% understandable, and that's why I do it like this because I know life. We got two baby girls running around. They unplugged the Wi-Fi twice during this session. Like, I mean, things happen, so it is what it is, bro. And so that's why I do it like this. And no, you're more than welcome to get those recordings. Got you. That's all you had to say.
all right, I love y'all. I love everybody in here.
All right, y'all. Peace. It was fun.
All right, we love you too, man.
All right, y'all,
Peace.
man. Peace to the
You
gods.
gotta. I'm gonna hit you up after this too.
All right, bet.
Got you, bro.